and it takes you on a journey through a brand new region. In the start of the game, it essentially features normal stuff you'd expect from, Pokemon. You take on gyms, you defeat the evil team, you take on the Elite Four and the champion. But the post-game part in this freaking game, the creator says, is an interesting part of the game. That's where the fun happens. The post-game apparently is a huge departure from other games that have similar features and whatnot, similar Pokemon fan games, or just general Pokemon games in reality, if you know what I mean. This game essentially takes a different route. It doesn't follow the similar route to what happens in all the other games where you become a champion and boom, it's pretty much over after that. Usually, some little extra things happen. In this game, loads of things happen after you're done with the league. And I gotta mention that this fan game is 100% completed and can be played through fully. The game actually also features 11 gyms. The 3 extra ones can be taken on after you finish the Champion League and become the champ. And the game also features side questing and the Pokemon World Tournament. This is essentially the perfect game if you have some time on the side after you've completed like Sun and Moon and you just want to have a bit of a great time, as the game can be played for quite a few hours and it's really, really cool, man. It is definitely one of the coolest games as it is fully completed and features some of the most stunning graphics I've ever seen. It is so well made, and I didn't think with the assets from like Fire Red and Hoenn games and like Red Ruby, Sapphire and Emerald, I didn't think they could create like these well created things that are sort of looking like something you'd see in Pokemon like Soul Silver or Heart Gold, or some of the newer ones compared to the Fire Red and Leaf Green ones, which is honestly just so cool, man. I love that they added these extra features to make it look all fancy and whatnot. Seriously, the developer who made Pokemon Alchemist, props to you, fam. Major props to you. Let's go to the next one. Number 4. Now, next up is a game that has had huge influence on the Pokemon community. It's going to be Pokemon Uranium, which was one of the largest projects and biggest and sickest projects ever created, being developed for several years, just to get shut down on the day they put out the fan game was a huge shame and a blow to the developers. Pokemon Uranium is a fully fledged and new game that features tons of Pokemon, and they are super well designed. The game takes you to the world of Tandor, where there are currently 150 new Pokemon, and also tons of old Pokemon featuring in it. The game also has a new typing that's called the Nuclear type, and this nuclear reference that I mentioned here actually it gets brought up a lot in the actual game and the story. It's a huge part of the plot where nuclear Pokemon get involved and whatnot, and nuclear plants and all those things. And I definitely recommend checking it out, since it's I don't want to spoil it for you. I want you all to check it out yourself. It can still be downloaded, and it's been in development since 2007. And I don't want to spoil the plot for you because it would be a shame to ruin such a fun experience that I 100% recommend for anybody to try out. But seriously, outside of that, outside of the extra Pokemon you have, the new typing, what else does this game have? Well, it has a brand new UI, a fully custom-made UI system that is super well created. The game also features loads of new tiles, custom-made features that are amazing, as well as side questing and just extra things to do, really. It's so many things you can do. And if you're thinking this game is going to be easy, well, don't go in with that feeling, because it can get hard. And it does also feature, like some of the other games, the feature of having Nuzlocke, Randomizer, and Randomizer locked onto it, because the game actually allows that in itself. There is an option at the start of the game, which is really cool. I do love that. I'm currently playing through this game on my channel, and I give it my seal of approval. Seriously, I give it my 100% seal of approval. It is definitely a fun game, and it's worth checking out. Let's go to the next one. Number 3. Next up are 2 games called Pokemon Zeta and Pokemon Omicron, which have both been around for quite some time, I've got to say right now. These 2 fan games are legendary, and they're loaded with features, man. The game's story starts out quite weirdly. You wake up from sleeping, and as you wake up, you see a lot of fire around you. The city, or rather the town you live in, is under fire, and you start panicking. The character picks up the tape recorder and then asks, essentially yourself with the tape recorder, are you a boy or a girl? You answer several questions, and after you answered all the questions, your panic settles down. You kind of get your mind, set, and you understand what you're going to do. So you head towards an emergency exit route, but you notice your mother and the local professor, and you run towards them. You ask them who the people that are attacking the city and starting the fires are, and they answer that it's Team Olympus. Now, this is only a snippet of the story. Now, I'm just going to say I love it. I love where it's kind of going, and it's pretty interesting, and that's why it takes the number 3 spot. The game features an extensive amount of freaking content. It's promised to have over 70 hours of gameplay, and honestly, there's loads of fun to be made out of these games. Honestly, it's amazing how much content there is in this. You also get 2 different regions to take on, and a total of 12 badges to collect, and 4 sigil holes to conquer, as well as the battle frontier. Not only that, but this game is actually loads harder than most Pokemon games, and it's actually had its difficulty boosted by a lot to make it a lot harder to play through and increase the challenge And then, of course, there are no HMs in this game. There's none needed. The game also has a challenge mode like Nuzlocke, randomizers, and that sort of stuff, and actually quite a few more. Now, what I do find fun about this game as well is the fact that it actually increases the level cap in this game from 100 to essentially 150 as far as I understood, or 120, I couldn't remember exactly, which is pretty darn sick. I do like that you can actually level them up above 100, which is pretty cool, and I do think it's a sick pair of two games, like, you know, having Zeta and Omicron. It's really interesting. I think the only difference between them is the legendaries and whatnot, which then again also is pretty interesting. I do like that they add two different legendaries. I think it's, I can't remember which ones they were. I think it was, one of them was, freaking Jirachi, but I can't remember what the other one was. But either way, I do think these are some interesting games and 100% worth playing through. I would recommend downloading them, and if you're going to have yourself, you know, a long-ass play session, well, here you go. This game features over 70 hours of gameplay, so I'd recommend getting your hands on it, as this is definitely a great freaking fan game to check out. Let's go to number 2. Number 2. Now, next up is a game that most of you might be familiar with, and it's going to be Pokemon Insurgents, that's currently still in development, but has a playable launcher and version out there that can be essentially played. Now, what separates this game from the other fan games is that the region, or the plot perhaps, you know, or maybe the characters, that may be what separates it. No. All those things, yes, they do separate it, but also the amazing addition of so many more features in this game. The game features several Mega Evolutions. It featured also custom-made ones and real ones, real Mega Evolutions and custom-made Mega Evolutions. The game also features a brand new type of Pokemon called the Delta species, which takes the Pokemon you love and changes them around to give them a new twist, a new typing, and new look. Essentially, it is Alola forms prior to Alola forms. Of course, the game also features a new region, being the Tauren region, that's essentially being played by several cults at the moment that kill off their members and sacrifice humans to summon things like Darkrai and other demonic powers and whatnot. The game also features an online full support for those who want to do a bit of trading and maybe friend battles and whatnot. The game also allows you to fully customize your character, and it has tons of customization in it. It also has over 722 of the original Pokemon from Gen 1 to 6, and of course also the new Delta forms and the Mega Evolutions. The game also has the Nuzlocke mode, the Randomizer mode, and many more. You can also have yourself this pretty cool thing called Pokemon Armor, where you put armor on your Pokemon to make their defense higher, which is kind of random, but pretty interesting. I've never seen that before. Overall, this game is packed with features and tons of things to discover, so I would 100% recommend it. Give it a shot. You know, if you have a bit of time over, do check it out. And also, it does have a pretty, pretty good amount of time you can play through in the current versions. It also has a really interesting plot, and I do not want to really spoil it for you guys, but I've got to say that's why it's on number 2. It's got an interesting story, tons of features, and I freaking love it. I played it myself. It's a great game, so do check out Pokemon Insurgents. Let's go to number 1. Number 1. And coming at the number 1 spot is the currently most anticipated Pokemon fan game, known as Pokemon Phoenix Rising. This game has been under development for quite some time now, but has yet to get a demo or release date. Especially with the increase of DMC claims from Nintendo, a lot of fan game developers are worried that their games will get shut down before they manage to finish them. Now, what does make actually Phoenix Rising so much greater than all the other ones? Well, like most of the other fan games, it features a brand new region. This one is called Hawthorne. The game takes place in this region, and under a long time, this place has been under peace, following the fall of the region's previous king. The region essentially now is ruled by these oracles, but lately the oracles have been put into question by the people because of the arrival of a man saying that he's the son of the fallen king. Now, there's a lot more plot that get through here, and there's so many more things you guys can discover, but I mainly want to focus on the actual features in the game. And what does this game feature? Well, see, Pokemon Phoenix Rising features something that no other Pokemon game have, which is choice and consequence. Now, what does this actually mean? Well, the game features a set of choices that essentially are between good and evil. These choices will actually alter the path that you're led through in this game. It is not a linear game. You can actually change the outcome of the game. And the game features several endings, so the path you take through the game will actually alter the outcome of the playthrough, which makes the replayability a lot more likely. There's loads of skill trees in the game that allow you to purchase these talents throughout the game that you can use on your Pokemon and whatnot. Also, the game has a university you can go to, you can study and eventually get to pick a trainer class you would like to be. And, there's so many more things in this game. There's also a difficulty option in the game. You can pick between hard modes and easy modes. It also has a Pokestrap, which is a sort of like UI utility tool that exists in the game, the GUI, the thing you see on your screen with the Pokeballs in the back and whatnot. And essentially, it's really essential to your journey. This thing has a lot of things packed into it. The game also features several freaking quest lines and several side quests, and a full-on quest system, as well as character customization to fully make your character into your own. And finally, the last feature that I want to mention is the amazing custom soundtrack created for this fan game. They are just fantastic. Now, I know all these other fan games as well do have custom soundtracks, but this one has my personal favorite. I love it, man. And I really would recommend keep your eyes out for the 2017 demo that is planned to come out this year for this game. But that's going to be the end of this video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. I'm sorry That's my personal favorite. I love it, man. And I really would recommend keep your eyes out for the 2017 demo that is planned to come out this year for this game. But that's going to be the end of this video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. I'm sorry for going on for so long. If you did enjoy, then drop a like down below. Feel free to subscribe for future videos. But also make sure to check out these fan games and just have a blast with them. The ones that are completed and even the demos. Do take a look at all of them. And guys, I hope you all enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next time.